Well, hey there folks, and welcome back once again to the Hop House. It's Eddie here, time for another beer review, time for another virgin beer review. If you just found us here on YouTube, go and give us that thumbs up, give us a like, share, subscribe to this channel. It's the Hop House, we like hoppy beer, we like good house music. We've just turned a year old, so you know we've been going a year, and I think the only thing I've achieved is probably got an extra chin. Okay, so today we're going to do some sour beers. We're going to go back into sour beer territory. I've only done a handful of sour beers before, but the majority of stuff I do, if you don't know by now, is stuff that you can pick up in the supermarkets. So some of these have been available in supermarkets in the past. I think some are still available. One I did get off a website, but it was previously available in a supermarket. So we're going to crack on with sour beers. Fruited sours, really tart and fruity and make you go a bit, oh. That's the idea behind them anyway. Right, you ready to see beer numero uno? Right, so this is from Drygate Brewing up in Scotland, in Glasgow. It was available in the last Lidl Craft Beer Festival. So it was October 2021. And it's their Tone Burst. Their Tone Burst, it's a Rhubarb Berliner Weisse beer, which is basically a German sour. And it's coming in, if you pick it up there, no, you're going to pick it up there, 3.2% ABV. So it's a low ABV beer, and I think there's been a bit of a surgence of this in the last sort of year or so, of these low ABV beers. Some breweries call them table beers, and I think the idea is not that I'm condoning doing this, but I don't know, if you went to a pub or something and you were driving, if it's 2.8, some of them are 2.8 or 3% or 2.7, this is 3.2, the unit's going to be less, so maybe you could have a pint of that with your Sunday dinner or something, you know. Not that you'd probably have a rhubarb sour with your Sunday dinner, but you get what I mean. A lower ABV beer, so that then you can think, okay, I can have one and confidently think, yes, I can get on the road and I'll be alright to drive. I mean, I don't even drive, so don't bother me none, but I'm not saying have a skinful and drive. Don't have 6 of them, but I think that's the idea, because although we've done some non-alcoholic beers or low ABV beers, you know, the 0%, 0.5, they just don't, on the whole, they don't taste like beer. It has to be the alcohol that's holding it back from its full potential flavour. So by adding a little bit and making it a bit ABV, maybe that's what they're up to. Right, should we get this out in the glass? So yeah, this was available at Lidl. I'm using the cider glass for this. Rhubarb Berliner Weisse. I remember I had a Berliner Weisse before. I think it was a Love Lane one, and it was quite good. It was quite nice. I quite enjoyed it. It was interesting. It was different. Right. I'm just wondering, with it being from other things I've seen, from other sour beers and things like that, if this is going to be the colour of rhubarb, is this going to be like a reddy, dark reddy, greeny type colour? No, it is sort of goldenish. In fact, it looks like a New England IPA. It looks like a New England IPA. It's got a big white head on it. I wasn't expecting a sour beer to have such a head. Look at that. It's golden in colour, very golden, and it has some light bleeding through at the bottom when I hold it up through the window for the natural light, but on camera, it's golden, it's hazy. It looks like a New England IPA. Trust me, it's not. It's a Berliner Weisse. It's a fruited sour. It's been in the freezer for about 10 minutes or so, and then I did refrigerate it, so it is cold. I like my beers cold. You can argue as to, I think these sour beers are meant to be cold. Craft beers sort of certainly are. It's more your real ales you want at your 10-11 degree cellar temperature, don't you? Right, so that's what it looks like. It doesn't look at all what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be red or purple or something. It's not. Apologies if you hear that whirring in the background. My boiler's just literally behind the camera, and we've got the heating on to help dry the clothes. We haven't got a tumble dryer. We're not posh. So you may hear it boost up and whir. So apologies if that's you can hear that in the background. Right, I'm going to get my nose in there, so we're going to give it a whiff, see what we can sniff. Tart fruitiness. I'm getting that rhubarb, you know. It's quite subtle, but it's there. But what I am getting, and I've said this about every sour beer that I've had so far, so I do think it's the general smell of a sour beer, is that soda pop gun. You know, you got your Coca-Cola or your lemonade soda pop gun, and when the syrup goes, it just smells of like soda-ish water without any syrup in it. I tend to get that's what I get from sour beers, the main smell profile. which I think would probably normally put me off because I think, oh my god, it kind of tastes like soda water, but it doesn't. Now, sour beers have come around, a bit more of a modern style, but I think they were designed to replicate how beer used to be before we had the technology to keep beers at a certain condition. So it's a bit like they put something in it to turn it, to sour it. So it's a bit like purposefully curdling milk or souring milk, if you like. It's not going to like put you in hospital or anything. It's just a style of beer, and it brings out a different flavour. Right. So yeah, I'm getting fruity notes. I'm definitely getting the sort of tartness of a rhubarb. I used to love rhubarb crumble and custard when I was a kid. Jam roly-poly and custard is my favourite. It's my favourite pudding in the world ever. But rhubarb and crumble was lovely. My nana and my mum used to make cracking one. Right, let's go for it. Let's see if this is going to turn my face a bit woo. Bottoms up down the hatch. Cheers. It's certainly quite tart. It is quite tart. It's not overly, and the aftertaste is really quite watery. It does taste sort of like a water in the aftertaste. It's quite liquidy and watery and just properties of water in the back end. But it does shove down your tongue, and it can make your eye, well, I suppose if it was a bit tartar, it'd make your eyes water. It is making me burp. And what I tend to find, another thing I tend to find with sour beers, my limited knowledge of sour beers, is they're actually quite good for indigestion. Maybe it's that soda water property. So if you have a sour beer, it makes you burp, and if you've got some trapped wind there, excuse me, it'll get it up. I'm getting a little bit of fizziness, which does replicate a soda pop gun, but I'm getting that it is making me go ooh a bit. I'm getting the tartness of rhubarb. It is quite rhubarb-esque. I quite like the flavour of rhubarb, but the thing with rhubarb is, you know, when you have it in like a pudding or dessert, you put sugar with it to sweeten it up. When you don't put the sugar with it, it is quite tart. It is quite ooh. There goes my boiler again. Should put some music on, shouldn't I, to try and drown out the sound of the boiler. Bit of lace division then. It's lacing like an IPA. That is not how I was expecting this beer to be at all. Really good lacing. It's chasing doing the thing that the IPAs do, where the head chases the, you know, bubbles chase the head. You know it all by now. Oh. Again, that aftertaste just becomes then watery. It leaves my mouth feeling sort of hydrated in a way. Right, Drygate Tone Burst. What do we know about Drygate Brewing? They're based in Glasgow. They're based right next door to Tennant's Brewery, the massive Tennant's Brewery, and they're a joint venture between Tennant's Brewery and Williams Brothers. That's what I've heard, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not an expert, I work in the industry, but that's what I've heard. Right, open doors, open minds. Beer and food for good. Right, so Tone Burst, Berliner Weisse sour wheat beer with rhubarb, tart rhubarb, lemon, bready malt. Drygate have been brewing and serving up food in the historic heart of Glasgow since 2014. We work with open doors and open minds. We believe good beer and good food should be accessible to everyone. We are proud to use our platform and our privilege to support others whenever we can. Visit our website to find out more. We'd love for you to join us for pints and scran at our brasserie, where you'll be right in the heart of our brewery. You can find us at Drygate Brewing, 85 Drygate, Glasgow, Scotland, G4. Vegan friendly, contains gluten. Served cold. It certainly is cold. Drygate.com, 3.2% ABV. This is where the price comes into it, because sour beers they're slowly making their way into supermarkets. Obviously, they're not hitting as hard as the IPAs, and a lot of the chocolate stouts are really big in supermarkets at the moment. And we're coming into stout season, aren't we? It's November. So this is probably more of a summery drink, to be fair. Wow. It's certainly tart, it's certainly rhubarby. It's quite refreshing, and then the way it turns to water at the back end it's interesting, because before it does that, it dries your mouth out. That tartness really dries your mouth out, and then right at the back, it does feel like you're getting a bit of water, like not soda water, just still water. That's how it sort of leaves your mouth at the back end. So it leaves it feeling hydrated, but there's something quite moreish about it. And at 3.2%, it's not going to send you sideways, is it? I quite like it. I thought I'd really struggle with sour beers. I'm quite surprised at how I'm finding them okay. Yeah, go check them out. This was, like I said, in the Lidl Craft Beer Festival. It was £1.59. So did I mention that? I think I was going to talk about price point. I think it was £1.59. I know some of the 440ml cans were £1.79. I think this is £1.59 because at the end of the day it's only 3.2% ABV. Drygate.com. Again, there goes my boiler. I don't know if it's going to be a regular out theirs on their website, or if they just did it for that certain craft beer festival. I'm glad I picked up a can. However, saying that, am I glad I only picked up one can? No, it's quite refreshing, and I do like the tartness of rhubarb, so I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Excuse me, that was disgusting, but see what I mean about it makes you burp. Thumbs up from me. That basically means, thumbs up means yes, I'd buy it again. 2 thumbs up means where the hell do I get it? 2 thumbs up and a foot or 2 feet is like ah! That's a good wah, by the way. Thumbs in the middle is like I could drink it again, but if someone bought it me I wouldn't go out my way to get it. And thumbs down is like I don't want that ever again. So it's a thumbs up. So yeah, decent. Like, share, subscribe. We've got some more sours to do. Ciao for now, people.